I listen to the field. So with quantum touch, it's very easy to listen, to open up the quantum. We are really working with quantum field, and I listen to the field, I open up the field, and then I let myself impress, what do you need? So also, it's coming back to now to physical ailments. I look at the body. It's not so important if I see the person in person or see it on the screen, or I don't see it at all, because you can work with photos. And it's like I entrain with the person, and I ask the body, tell me what you need. So it's even like when you're used to do this kind of energy work, and you really don't have much time, but it's an emergency case, you can do normally half an hour, 1 hour session in 3 minutes, because everything in yourself is so used to experience it, and you just like squash the time. In 3 minutes, everything is done, which is normally done in 1 hour, something like that. So this is like you explore. And also sometimes I tell the students, for example, or patients, when they are so tight, everything is so tight, and of course then the body has pain and everything like that, but the thinking and the emotions, everything is so tight and so problematic and things like that. I invite them to look in the sky. So we breathe together and look in the sky, and to look in the, for example, blue sky. It's wonderful because you have no limitations.
Yes.
And the crown chakra, because you also in quantum touch, you learn about the chakras and things like that. And the crown chakra is used to go straight up in the sky, and it doesn't have any limitations, no human limitations. So there are so many things I discover still, so like little pinpoints, which are just turning around everything. And then I don't have so much to do anymore. And the people learn something very easy in a very short time.
Yes.
So also like the other way around, when the problem seems to be so enormously large, I invite them to look at the problem, for example, as a problem bubble. And then we do together the body sweeping. I do it the whole time for them, and then teach them a small part of it, and then tell them, okay, this is your very, very huge problem bubble, and now you press it together, till you have a little, very small point, just a very small point. And then you take this point, if you want, and set it up in the sky. Leave it to life force energy to do something very beautiful. It's free energy if you don't hold it. Yeah. So many, like, as you said before, like techniques inside the techniques, which are maybe not officially whatever mentioned, you are inventing all the time, because you're just in this energy, in this life force vibration, really.
And there's also something very special, remarkable. You mentioned twice, at least, in this conversation, that when I'm going to say that, paraphrase my own words, when you start working with this energy technique, you start being in touch with yourself. So we start connecting with ourselves in a very different dimension. And when you do that, there are no limitations.
There are no limitations.
When you go inside, from ancient Asian traditions,
yes.
they say, millennial traditions, they say, when you are inside, there are no limitations, because all the truth is inside. And my perception is that with quantum touch, we live that. Because when you are giving to the client, life force energy, you are receiving that by raising the energy, and they are receiving what they need. We receive.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And it's this one wonderful sentence, it's all energy. It makes it so simple.
Yeah.
It's all energy, whatever it is. It's energy, and you can raise energy, you can guide it to somewhere, you can, so many things.
Yeah. So Bianca, you have a background very interesting because it comes from so you're a sociologist. You studied the university degree in sociology, but also we studied naturopath, and you were already before quantum touch a therapist. I'd like to know how your background helped in your work with quantum touch, and how quantum touch helped your life as a therapist. I'd like to know about that.
Yes, in a very profound way, because I learned as a trained therapist, you learn, of course, a lot of psychology, but not so much as energetic psychology, which is really the very, very interesting thing. Because when you learn like normal psychology, I love it, but at the same time, it can be very tight. So you're all the time like you take the problems into different names and drawers, and then you are trained to do this and say that, and you don't say that, and things like that. So it's all like categorizing a lot. Energy psychology is behaving as an energetic person, energy healer, with all these modalities, quantum touch modalities. It's a wide range you have. It's like a playground. It's these, I'm not sure how it's called in English. Like when you're a child, you might have get a box where you can all these tricks, like a magician box, things like that. So this is quantum touch for me. You can take this and this and you play with it. So nothing is so strong and it has to be like that, not at all, because it's energy, and you can modulate energy, you can enforce it, you can take it down. So all this drama, you can take it down, but just through just changing your breathing. Mm-hmm. So it's all the time like magic. And my view of the patients, of course, it changed a lot. So I'm not so stressed by their stress. It's like the way of perceiving people with energy eyes is very, very different. So I can sense that the energy is very agitated.
Yeah.
Okay, what do I do with the agitated? And then the agitated energy. And then I suggest, of course, the other part is, I think with quantum touch, like as therapists, we are becoming very good in listening.
Oh, yes, that's true.
So that's a listening which is beyond the normal listening.
Yes.
And because we are listening with this presence of life force energy in quantum touch, and because we have the ability to stay inside of us, so the life force energy on purpose is flowing the whole time. We don't stop it inside of ourselves. It's much easier to change something and to have wonderful suggestions. And now it depends what kind of courses we took in quantum touch. Like I love, for example, supercharging with the colors. While I'm listening, I'm introducing the 12 colors, and I give it to them. So you have a special training what's about these 12 colors, and they are also very, very special. They have a shamanic background, reading Indian or Native American background. So you're also dealing with copper, silver, and gold. And while I'm listening, I talk to the body and say, what do you need? Or maybe sometimes I understand it, just someone has a nerve problem. It will be copper, or someone has something, problems with the bones, it will be silver, or organs is gold. And while I'm listening, I'm sending the colors already. So the healing starts already. It's endless. I could talk endless over what it changed really in my work. Yes, as someone who's treating people.
Well, Richard Gordon, the founder of Quantum Touch, he says that in the interview I saw when he said, in Quantum Touch, you don't need too much information. You need like a psychologist. He needs to listen to the person to figure that out and work with the patient. But in Quantum Touch, you don't need that much information. But when you listen to people, it is another level of quality of listening, because we are connected with ourselves. We are connected with this technique, life force energy, and we are giving to the person the best thing we can do, that is love. Because in Quantum Touch, we work with the frequency of love, the highest one that exists, available for us human beings, right? So, Bianca, I'd like to know if you continue work with the other modalities, and if you use Quantum Touch associated with them, how is your nowadays work with other techniques and with Quantum Touch? How do you deal with all of this information now?
Mm-hmm. I listen to the field. So with Quantum Touch, it's very easy to listen, to open up the quantum. We are really working with quantum field, and I listen to the field, I open up the field, and then I let myself impress, what do you need? So also it's coming back to now to physical ailments. I look at the body. It's not so important if I see the person in person or see it on the screen, or I don't see it at all, because you can work with photos. And it's like I entrain with the person, and I ask the body, tell me what you need. Where should I go first? Where do you want my hands to be placed?
Yeah.
Do you need a kind of enforcement? Do you need really power, or do you need soothing energy, or do you need movement? Very often it's really stuck energy. So I provide the movement, and then everything again I let go, because in Quantum Touch you're trained to be the observer. I just observe the inner healer. I observe this wonderful, I talk to these quantum particles and say, what's up? I observe you, you tell me, and I look at you and I learn from you. So I learn because I observe the healing process. I'm just the observer, and I'm just holding this wonderful field with I don't do a lot, not at all.
Yeah.
I'm just breathing into this wonderful quantum touch. And I think what is really wonderful, like coming back to combining. For example, I also teach Qigong. So, or I teach meditation, or I teach, different things. And I always come back in all, let's say I start all these sessions. Let's take Qigong with this quantum touch, with the presence of the life force. In Qigong you learn it anyway, but now it's not only what you do in quantum touch and different movements and things like that, but you really enter life force energy personally, as if it would be now a very close friend.
Yeah. Yes.
And then from there, whatever I teach, or whomever I treat, I want them from the very start, just as an intention, to have life itself as your very closest friend. Let life answer your life, your problems, your whatever you want to learn.